It's the Gastro Guru Labor Day edition, and we're doing it Italian style. Mangiamo, everybody! But first, as always, we got to start off with a drink. So I've got an amazing, beautiful, crisp lager from Peroni. And guess what? We're gonna be cooking with this with both dishes. So I hope you like seafood and I hope you like pasta, because I mean, who doesn't? So we're gonna be making two awesome recipes that are going to go perfectly with this gorgeous Italian beer. Cheers. Wiping off the mustache. Okay, so as always, I start off with a great sauce. I've got some clarified butter. I'm gonna add in a little bit of herbed olive oil. The reason because of that is because olive oil has a higher boiling temperature. Now this is a great way to start off any kind of sauce. Just chop up your favorite ingredients and we're gonna saute them. So you get that beautiful flavor with the brownings. And then we're gonna add in our tomatoes and everything else blended up. It's gonna be beautiful. So next we're gonna add in the garlic. I've already peeled these guys and we're gonna smash them up. Great way to be able to do that is to use the back of a knife. Instead of using those peelers, that you're pushing through all the time, you lose all the essential oils and we don't wanna do that. We just wanna break these guys up and allow the liquid to actually bring in all of the flavor. So we just wanted to bruise them, crush them up, and then add them right into the pan. Next, I'm gonna add in some red onion. And again, you can see how chunky this is because what we're gonna be doing is just sauteing very high, getting all the brownings in there, and then we're gonna add in a little bit of vegetable stock, and then we're pouring in our Peroni beer. We're gonna break all this down and then add in some more tomatoes. This is a great way to build a beautiful stock very, very quickly. I'm gonna add in a little bit more olive oil. And because we're gonna be making a little bit of spice, and I'm sure everybody who's been gardening has got fresh peppers. So we're gonna be using hot peppers, but again, you can use sweet peppers if you like. That's not a problem at all. And I'm using all of the pepper, except for the stem. But we're gonna keep in all of the seeds in there. And the reason is because we're gonna be pureeing them. So we're just gonna add that in, and you know what? I think we're ready to throw this on and get it sauteing. So I'm just gonna saute this on medium-high for about 5 minutes and then turn it down. And what we want to do is just get those essential oils and the brownings going. And this is what is going to build that beautiful sauce. Veggies are sauteing perfectly. We're just gonna add in the vegetable stock and some cold Peroni beer. This is gonna lift all the brownings and make a delicious sauce and a perfect base. So we've got the Peroni in there. I mean, you gotta taste what you're cooking, right? So we've got that in there. I've already started peeling our tomatoes. What I'm doing here, I've got some locally sourced tomatoes. Always great to be able to buy local. I'm just peeling the skin off. So this is gonna reduce the acidity and also allow for us to make a really nice sauce and for the beer to actually get absorbed into the tomatoes. It's gonna build a really nice rich sauce. And I'm gonna chop these guys up and place them in the saucepan. So this is an interesting recipe that I created, and I just thought like, hey, who doesn't like to have beer on Labor Day? And then to put beer with pasta, sausage, the whole bit. So this is a nice spicy tomato beer-based spaghetti that we're gonna be making. And I've got some fresh spaghetti with some spinach because everybody needs their greens. And I've got some sausage, and then we're gonna be topping it off with a duo of olives and also some beautiful capers. So we're adding in things at a different pace because some need to be cooked, some I want just fresh, and some are pickled. And by adding them in at different times, what we're doing, as I'm running out of space, is we're actually allowing the flavors to come together so that with every bite, you're getting a different stage of preparation. So you've got your sauce that right now we're sauteing, but that soon we're gonna be simmering with the tomatoes and the Peroni beer. And then what we're gonna be doing after that is adding in fresh herbs. And then finally, we'll be adding in the sausages and the capers because they have a very strong flavor. We don't want to take over all the delicate flavors of the herbs and the tomatoes and the beer. So now let's put all this into the pan, pour in some more Peroni, and then we're gonna start working on the clams. Beautiful, fresh spinach and regular pasta. So now we're gonna be making our double flame clams oregano with Peroni. So I've already got some butter in our pots. Next, I'm gonna add in 2 bottles of Peroni because there's only one thing better than one, and that's 2. So I'm gonna add them all in. Now, normally, I'm sure you're thinking, hey, shouldn't you already have this getting heated up? We actually don't need to because we're gonna be boiling the clams. And so we want all those great flavors to infuse together. So I've got Leeks, I've got our double smoked bacon that I chopped up, heirloom tomatoes. Hold on, make sure we get all the bacon. And then next, some shallots in there as well. So shallots are part of the garlic family, so which is great because it just gives that really nice deep flavor to it. The leeks are nice and fresh, double smoked bacon, I mean, who doesn't like bacon? And then, hey, we got the beautiful clams are coming in. So these are pasta clams. And I've been keeping them on ice because you gotta keep them alive. Yes, clams are alive. Next, I'm gonna add in some dried oregano. Now, I'm also gonna be adding in some fresh oregano as well, but after, just to keep on layering the flavors and some veggie stock. I'm gonna top this up, and then we're going to put it back onto the range and get it boiling, and these guys are gonna be cooked up in about 10 minutes. So our sauce is ready to be blended up, but first we gotta in our fire roasted red peppers. So we've already just blended up our sauce, and here's an amazing tip. Dry out your pasta. So I've got fresh pasta that I'm gonna put into our bowl. So by drying it out, it allows for it to get kind of sticky, which means your sauce doesn't have to be that thick, which means it takes less time to cook. And it covers your pasta equally, which is amazing. So I'm just gonna throw this in here. And then next we're gonna add in the rest of our ingredients. So I've got some spicy Italian sausage, and I've got some capers. I know, so you gotta think. Spice, smoke, fresh, pickled, and then I've got some sun-dried cherry tomatoes. These taste incredible, so they're not as acidic as regular sun-dried tomatoes. And then I've got a duo of olives. This is such a great combo because really, if you think about it, beer, Caesars, they all kind of go together nicely. And that's how I came up with this recipe. So I'm gonna start tossing this into the sauce just to start to get it combined. And then at the last minute, before I drop it into the bowl, I'm gonna put in half of my fresh herbs. So I've got some oregano, I've got basil, and thyme all together. So it's a beautiful combination for this. It makes for a really fresh pasta. And adding in the Peroni actually really lifted a ton of the brownings, and it gives it some, you almost feel like there's effervescence in the sauce. There isn't, but it feels like it. So I'm gonna add in half of our fresh herbs, and then I'm gonna drop this into the bowl. And here we go, guys. Okay, let's try to make sure that this doesn't splash all over the place. And it doesn't. I might have done this once or twice. It's always nice to have a big, beautiful bowl, just like in the movies. And here we go. That looks awesome. And I'm just gonna toss it a little bit more and then add in the rest of our herbs. And this is how you make your pasta look beautiful. Always adding just a couple of the toppings on top so the bowl looks great, the presentation looks awesome. And not only that though, but it retains a lot of the flavors because you're not cooking everything. You're cooking them at different ways. And then you've got fresh ingredients as well. And again, this is what brings on those beautiful layers. And guess what? You always clean up the sides of the bowl. So I can hear those happy little clams clicking away. And so I'm going to get those out of there, eat some sausage. Oh my God, that's spicy. Have a little bit, and let's plate those guys, and we've got our meal. So our Peroni tomato spaghetti is totally done, and now we're just putting the finishing touches on our double flamed oregano clams. So this is panko and Gran Padano cheese with a little bit of oregano. And for all those who have been watching for so long, you know I gotta torch things up. And when I'm torching, you have to stay cool. So I'm just gonna flame this up, and of course, if you don't have a kitchen torch, you can toss this into your oven and just wanna get a nice little golden crust on top, as the others are. And there we go, guys. I hope you have a fabulous Labor Day weekend. Cheers, and as I always say, keep sipping, keep cooking, and keep shaking. Enjoy.